Plants vs. Zombies is one of those games that no matter how many years go by, you never get tired of playing. It was created by George Fan and developed by PopCap Games, becoming one of the most iconic and addictive games of an entire generation. But have you ever imagined what these zombies would look like if they existed in real life? Well, today I'm going to show you what the zombies from Plants vs. Zombies would look like in the real world. And if you want a video showing what the plants would look like in a realistic version, leave a like so I can start working on a part 2. Get comfortable, because we're getting started right now. The balloon zombie uses a giant balloon to fly over all the garden defenses. In a hyper-realistic version, it would look extremely eerie, floating slowly through the sky with a blank stare and a very unsettling presence. The Buckethead Zombie is one of the hardest enemies to defeat, thanks to the massive metal bucket it uses for protection. In real life, it would have a much darker appearance, with a rusty bucket completely covering its head, barely showing a tiny glimpse of its rotting mouth. The Bungee zombie drops from the sky on a cord to steal plants directly from the garden. In real life, it would have a pretty sinister look, dangling from a rope as it slowly descends with open arms and a completely vacant stare. The Catapult zombie attacks from afar using a massive machine capable of launching basketballs all over the garden. In a realistic version, it would have a very strange, worn-down look, operating a makeshift machine made of rusty metal while firing giant balls at the plants. The Conehead Zombie is one of the toughest zombies in the game, thanks to the traffic cone it wears as a protective helmet. In real life, it would look incredibly grotesque, with a weathered, battered cone while its rotting face barely peeks out from underneath. The Digger Zombie uses a pickaxe to tunnel underground and attack directly from behind. In real life, it would look like a dark and aggressive zombie miner, caked in dirt and clutching a rusty pickaxe. The Disco Zombie is probably one of the most iconic and funniest zombies in the game, spawning alongside his backup dancers to invade the garden to the rhythm of disco music. In real life, they would look like a completely unhinged crew, with flamboyant clothes, ridiculous moves, and a vibe straight out of a 70s zombie flick. The Dolphin Rider Zombie uses a dolphin to move quickly and jump right over aquatic plants. In a realistic version, it would have a super bizarre appearance, holding on to a zombie dolphin as it prepares to launch itself forward. Dr. Zomboss is the main villain of Plants vs. Zombies and the creator of practically every zombie in the game. In real life, he would look like a mad scientist straight out of a sci-fi horror film, operating completely ruined futuristic machinery. The Ducky Tube Zombie appears floating in the pool with an inflatable ducky while trying to get close to the plants. In a realistic version, it would look as bizarre as it is unsettling, mixing a grotesque zombie look with a super ridiculous yellow inflatable. The Flag Zombie is in charge of leading the zombie hordes while holding the classic flag with the brain drawing on it. In a realistic version, it would look much more sinister, with a sickly face, hollow eyes, and a torn flag covered in blood and dirt. The Football Zombie is one of the toughest and fastest zombies in Plants vs. Zombies, using a football uniform to tear through defenses easily. In real life, it would look completely feral, with a cracked helmet, torn jersey, and a lean but extremely aggressive physique. The Gargantuar is one of the biggest and most dangerous zombies in all of Plants vs. Zombies, capable of crushing plants with a single blow, while the tiny imp rides on his back, ready to attack. In a hyper-realistic version, they would look like a brutal duo, blending the monstrous strength of the Gargantuar with the creepy, chaotic look of the imp. Jack-in-the-Box Zombie is one of the most unpredictable enemies in the game thanks to its exploding surprise box. In real life, it would look like a macabre zombie clown holding its creepy Jack-in-the-Box with an expression straight out of a nightmare. The Ladder Zombie uses a ladder to scale defenses, helping other zombies advance much more easily. In real life, it would look like a completely battered zombie laborer, carrying a massive metal ladder as it slowly trudges forward. The Newspaper Zombie is remembered for calmly walking while reading the paper, until it gets angry and starts running like crazy. In a realistic version, it would look like an extremely creepy zombie old man, with rotten teeth, old clothes, and a completely shredded newspaper. The Pogo Zombie bounces across the garden on a pogo stick, easily bypassing several plants. In a realistic version, it would look completely out of control, with awkward, jarring bounces and an appearance worthy of an absurd horror movie. The Pole Vaulting Zombie is one of the fastest zombies in the entire game, using a pole to vault right over your plants. In a hyper-realistic version, it would look like a completely out-of-control zombie athlete, skeletal body, prominent bones, and a super aggressive stare. The screen door zombie uses a metal screen door as a shield to protect itself from all plant attacks. In real life, it would look heavy and menacing, lugging that rusty door around as it slowly advances toward the garden. The Snorkel zombie is one of the most annoying aquatic enemies in the game, hiding underwater to avoid attacks. In real life, it would look deeply unsettling, with a cracked mask, soaked skin, and a completely cold, dead expression. The zombie yeti is one of the rarest and hardest to find zombies in all of Plants vs. Zombies. In real life, it would look monstrous and gargantuan, blending a wild yeti with a savage, beast-like zombie creature. The classic zombie is the most basic enemy in Plants vs. Zombies, walking slowly but steadily as it tries to eat all the plants in your garden. In real life, it would have completely rotting skin, shredded clothes, and a look so macabre it would seem straight out of a horror movie. The Zomboni is the zombie driver that crushes everything in its path while freezing the lawn, allowing the dangerous bobsled team to spawn. In real life, they would look like a group of completely out-of-control zombies, driving a wrecked machine while speeding across the ice.